Hello, frameworks. I don't know who's there yet, but I am going to pull up the group in a moment. And let's see. All right, I kind of decided at the last minute that I would go live. I'm not talking through my studio mic, but it looks cool. So, let's see. I just sent the email out. And hello, Darlene, Dina, Rob. What's going on? Rob on the other side of the world, which is probably why you're seeing this. And West Coasters in the States and Australia. And everybody else that's a night owl here on the East Coast. And I'm going to pull up the live. I'm on my phone. I usually go live through Zoom, but I kind of just didn't want to deal with all of that shenanigans tonight. And so I want to see, let's see. Hello, Stephen Roberts here. John's here. Mike's here. Hi, Mike Elmore. Let's see. Mike and I have this story, and you're talking about, I actually heard, didn't we joke about being, so in VO, you know how like some people have like corporate work wives or work husbands, and they're just kind of like a friend that you kind of just like hang out with at work and talk? Well, Mike and I don't really have that, but we have been have we been an actual husband and wife, or is that, I can't remember, but anyway, it turns out that Mike and I were in the same infomercial together. Oh yeah, no, it was an infomercial, so we weren't like playing a couple or anything, but it was definitely kind of like, we kind of joked about, like, oh, we've been in a project together, which is kind of cool. Like, especially when you don't know the casting process, and like you just kind of do the project, and then you hear the project, and then you hear that there's another voice in it, and you actually know who that is. And so that's pretty cool. So anyway, hello, Tim. Chaka's here. Rob's here. Tracy. Oh my gosh, I'm still trying to, hang on guys. I can't talk and like do stuff at the same time. No, I don't want to open Zoom. Hang on. I'm like looking at the Facebook. I'm on my phone, but it doesn't really, I can see who's here, but I would rather look at the Facebook group and have it open on my computer. So this says slow connection. I wonder if that's me, because I'm in the booth and I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm sorry about that. We got a new member. Let's see here. Rose. All right. Oh, she's in. Hang on. A few seconds ago. I'll let her in. All right. Scott. Hello, Scott. It's been a while. Community home. Let's see if I can find the lives, and then I can actually, yes. So you guys are going to actually, you might hear an echo for just a second. Oh, actually, no, you shouldn't. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have my speaker down. There it is. Okay. All right. 10 of you watching. Hello, guys. So, I thought that I would come on and say hello, and so much going on. And I just wanted to brighten everybody's night, maybe, and just say hi and maybe answer a question or two that maybe, you were wondering about the voiceover industry in general. I know that kind of opens up a little, sometimes too broad of a range of things, but it's more of, like maybe specifics, like if you have questions on marketing or agents or gear. I'm not an audio expert, but I have a booth, and I've built, a bunch of DIY kind of like temporary setups in order to record in hotel rooms, which we actually just talked about in VO Vantage. And, oh, it's Tracy's birthday today. Happy birthday, Tracy. How old are you now? No, I'm just kidding. 29. Woo! All right. All right, John. Cool. 11:30. Good. Yes, a fellow night owl on the East Coast somewhere. All right. So everybody, I would have everybody sing, but Tracy, you're not going to be able to hear us. So happy birthday to you. All right. Sorry, Chaka. Don't want to wake up the roommates. The date time stamp. No. Rob, you're watching the correct one. It is 11:37 p.m. Eastern on July 21st, 2024. So if it's not that time and you're watching this and you're thinking this is live, it's not. 8:37 p.m. on that's Pacific. So anyway, I know we've had some issues with people coming in and looking and wind up watching the wrong video because for some reason that comes up instead of the live first. So that's been a fun thing in the past. There's always something. What you got, Stephen? You have a question. I would like to answer a question. Oh, hello, Michael. Oh my gosh, you're still in Tokyo. I had a feeling, but that's too funny because I think I saw somebody post or something the other day that they were looking for Americans in Tokyo. If I come across it again, I'll connect them with you, but it was somebody that was in the VO industry from the US that was, or actually, are you British? I can't remember where. I know you're an expat from, but I can't remember if you're here or a Brit. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But anyway, a non-Japanese living in Japan. So, I think that's so cool to be able to live abroad. Just so cool. All right. Okay. I had that right. Sorry. I'm like, it's been a while, but thank you for popping in. So I've talked about the AI kind of take over and over again, and I don't mind reiterating it because obviously not everybody sees everything that I talk about, but, and I don't expect you to. I feel like it's going to settle at some point, and it's just going to be part of the landscape, just like everything else. Honestly, when there's a lot of things, I feel I've been doing this for 20 years, and there's always been, ever since I started, there's been some element of the sky is falling, right? They're there's always been something coming in that says, oh my God, we're all doomed. And the AI is just the latest. It will certainly change the landscape of the business, for sure. But will it take it over? No. There's going to be things that I know that we're going to this is why, first of all, it's really important to train to be better than to be the cream of the crop when you have an acting ability, when you actually treat it as a business and you learn it, you'll be able to offer more than just the people on Fiverr just kind of doing stuff $35 a holler. So, which I'm not a fan. I understand people have to put food on the table, and if that's the case, then by all means. But Fiverr has, Fiverr is one of those Chicken Littles, right? Like the sky is falling kind of things. It's like, oh my God, people are doing stuff for $5, and a lot of people kind of had a freak out moment years ago when Fiverr first came out, and it's like it doesn't affect my business at all. The fact that there are people that actually, Fiverr is just about cheap clients, and with cheap clients, unfortunately, you get, think about Walmart customers, as opposed to, the high end, like Neiman Marcus, what kind of shelf do you want to put your product on? What kind of people do you want to sell to and cater to? Are you going to, the more I will tell you, and it's so weird and kind of like kind of odd that it works this way, but if anybody's heard of the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule, that's kind of how that works. Is like the top 20% of your clients are going to take care of 80% of your income. But 20% of your clients are going to try to take up 80% of your time. Remember that time is the only irreplaceable resource, not money. Money can be replaced. And so we can't replace time. Every second that goes by is one less than we had before. Sorry to make that so, kind of, I don't mean to be, just, I don't know what the word is, but, just kind of, I don't mean to make everybody think about it that way. But at the same time, focus on making more money and spending less time doing doing the business. You'll have way more fun. You'll work with way more fun people. The easiest jobs that I have, I've been paid the most for. It just never fails, but the people that pay the most are the easiest to work for. So, think about that. Are you spending if you're on Fiverr, and I'm not trying to shame you. I'm trying to show you that it definitely, there are better ways, and there are definitely clients out there that will hire you for way more than $10. Or even $50 or even $100. Like I get 3 to 5 projects a day. I have a regular client list, and I'm not saying this is going to happen off the bat, but it is possible to build. And if you want to spend the time on it, at the beginning, and you can build something like this early on, you'll be sitting pretty in a couple of years when you'll be able to kind of have the time freedom. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm a night owl, which is why I'm kind of up at quarter to midnight. I almost went live at midnight. I'm like, actually 11:30 will probably be fine. So that's my, kind of 2 cents. I kind of went off a little bit more on a tangent, but going back to John's question about AI, I don't see it just disrupting. Sure. Everything's here. I mean, honestly, like, a lot of things have changed, like I said, that the latest Chicken Little or The Sky is Falling, it definitely is something that, you don't want to take lightly, but at the same time, find out, what the jobs, there are some jobs that are going to AI that are not really, just because, the people that were providing them before weren't really talented and weren't really like spending time. They were just reading words out loud and, they were just recording stuff. Those are the ones that are going to be replaced, unfortunately. And I never wish that on anybody. It's just something that, I've brought this up before, and a lot of voice actors kind of get upset with me, but, we're only kind of complaining because we're, like voice actors, some voice actors are starting to see the decline in work if they, from AI. If they are, I haven't, I personally haven't, but of course it's, like I said, it's going to change the landscape. But, I remember 20 years ago, again, right as I was coming into the business in the early 2000s, and, everybody was building the home studio. Guess who wound up being out of a job as a result of that? Engineers and studio owners. A lot of studios have gone out of business in the last 20 years. A lot, like big time production studios, recording studios in cities, like everybody, even in New York City, not everybody, but a lot of voice actors in New York City have the home studio. Guess what? You took a job away from an engineer and a local studio that may have needed it. So we're, but I'm not saying like, again, not trying to shame anybody. It's just how it works. Obviously, I have a home studio. There are things that will change the landscape of the business. And that's just the way it is. That's progress, right? In order for us to move forward, we kind of need to things morph and things start to change the landscape. So, AI is just one of those things. And I do feel like I said, once it settles, the dust clears, so to speak, from it, it's still new. People are still kind of doing, they're still experimenting with it. And at one point, I think they're going to get bored. Like I'm talking about AI voiceovers specifically, like, and, I mean, I've lost clients to AI and then I've gotten them back because the technology just honestly, some of it's just not there yet. And, and even there's a lot of things that you just can't replace unless you actually use a real human. And so, and I have really great relationships with my clients. And so, there's a lot of things, like I said, it's going to change, but it's also, we're good. I think we're going to be fine. It's just something that is going to be, we're all going to peacefully coexist at some point. I think we're already doing it, to be honest, but everybody's always fear-mongering about it, and I'm not worried. Yeah, exactly, Tracy. Yeah, things happen, need to adapt, or get left in the dust. Very true. I'm looking at some questions here, so let's see who else, whose name didn't I shout out yet. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, John, feel free to share your thoughts, but those are mine. All right, computer speakers. Oh, I didn't see your question, Stephen. It's hard. I cannot. Oh, what do I do if I don't have headphones for my interface? You actually don't need headphones. I don't use them. The only time you really need headphones is for, and of course there's going to be opinions on this, but the only time I ever use headphones, like when I'm here alone in the booth and I'm just recording on my own, I don't touch headphones ever. But because they wind up, like, if you have a constant monitor and like you talk into the mic and you hear yourself and it's this loop, you kind of wind up just paying attention to the sound of your own voice. And that's not what voiceover is about. It's about the performance and selling something in some cases, or at least, playing a role of some sort. You're acting. So to just think about how good you sound through the cans, it doesn't usually work. So, the only time I wear headphones is when somebody is directing me and they're on the phone. And so, that's really the only time. You don't really need it otherwise. Some people use them for editing, which is fine, but you'd be surprised how much better your performances can be when you don't have the headphones. If you have if for some reason, because it's going to feel weird for a while. I was a radio personality early on, which is how I found voiceover. And I liked the headphones. They were a comfort to me. But so it was like, well, when I'm talking into a microphone, it feels weird if I don't have my cans on. But it took a while to get used to, but another, a fellow voice actor kind of brought it up to me, and they said, try actually talking into the mic, like forget about the microphone. Proximity is important. I will say that. If you're absolutely brand new and you're not really used to mic proximity yet, about like kind of, remember that movement is incredibly important in VO. And so you should be moving behind the mic in different kind of facial expressions. You don't want to move too much though, right? So if you just have to get used to kind of be able to move your body, but not really moving your head too much. Now, there are some microphones that are a little more forgiving than others when you talk away from them. Like my 416 is like, I could probably go up to about 1.5 feet. And, but I don't really have that a ton of room in here. So, I just you kind of get used to just talking and staying near the microphone, but watching the screen for the script. But when it comes to, headphones, don't think too much about them. I don't really think, you can definitely do your job without them. Again, unless somebody is listening in. And even then, I actually take one ear off. I have water in here and I just keep I usually don't bring stuff in here, but let's see. Can I do this? I should not do that. I'm just going to demonstrate this. So I do this, right? One ear on, one ear off. First, I'm left-handed. I think that's probably why, but I pay attention when I'm talking. I pay attention to this ear, not what's here. Although when I talk through my mic, I do not have it set up that it comes back through. It would just be too distracting for me. So, but again, everybody's a little bit different with it, but I challenge you if you're, just as long as you're good with your proximity to the microphone and you're pretty good at staying within that, because obviously it's going to change. It's going to sound like it's, I've been doing this long enough that I know where I'm at. And like, if I'm too far away or something happens or whatever, like I know to re-record. But, otherwise it's okay to try without the headphones. Yeah, like I said, yeah, Steven. So try it. Just keep your speaker down. And then once you're editing, you just turn, I turn up the volume on the monitor, the speaker inside my booth. And that's how I edit. I don't edit through cans. I don't record through cans. Oh, good, Michael. Oh, that's good. You guys have like a crew. That's awesome. I didn't realize that there were that many Americans living in Tokyo. That's really cool. Oh, yeah. Well, then maybe you want to look into just getting a better pair of speakers then, Stephen. Yes, we did, Rob. Yeah, we had an American in Spain at happy hour. Yes. Yeah, lots of expats and people doing VO all over the world, from all over the place. Asked if John, I'm reading your Don't Do Fiverr, found my own niche, but the reason I asked is because I've noticed a lot of voice talent has left the business because the fear of AI. Yeah, and I get that, but if they are that worried, then they probably weren't willing to put the work in to really do this anyway, and like, it's, the people that are going to do still well in this business are the ones that are going to put the work in. They're going to do the training. They're going to invest and actually learn the business. It is really important to do that. You can't just buy a mic these days and set up a home studio and just start doing this. You buy $500 on the pay to plays, voices.com or whatever. Most people just don't book anything in the first year. You spend all that money on gear and the setup and I get it because it's the tangible part of the business, right? Like it's something that people I think buy the microphone and build the booth first because it's something that they feel like they can progress with and feel the progress. But if you don't actually learn technique, you're just reading scripts out loud and you're not going to be able to compete with the people that have done the research and have done the studying. So those of you that are interested in coaching, I want to help people get there. I absolutely can. I love teaching technique. We have a VO Vantage program, which is it's $37 a month. That is, at the ground level, that is a great group. In fact, those of you that are in VO Vantage, hit something like hashtag VO Vantage if you're in there, and put it into the chat because, people really are getting a lot of benefit out of it. It's a great group. We have fun. We learn every week. We go over technique. We go over marketing. We do a little bit each week, and I do a masterclass on a topic that you guys choose. We just talked about DIYing a kind of a temporary recording booth or recording studio, from a hotel room or setting up in a car. I covered all of that last week when we did the masterclass for the month. And then we do weekly strategy calls if that's, something. And then, I offer coaching discounts if you're in that group, right? If you wind up kind of working with me on a one-on-one basis, which will get you there the fastest. I have some private one-on-one coaching packages. Those of you that are interested in that, please just message me. I'm happy to have a chat with you about it. I do have, if you go to, actually, let me see here. Let me just look and see if I missed anything yet. I'm looking for any questions. I'm getting behind with scrolling. Speak to the process of outsourcing certain VO adjacent tasks. I don't really do that personally. I like the marketing aspect. I know that people are doing that, and that they're outsourcing. VOVA or something. It's, virtual assistants for VO people. That's definitely a thing. But I have an assistant for my coaching side, right? And not for my voiceover business. So it's not really applicable to you guys, like anybody that wants to do VO, because I don't use it for I don't use my assistants for VO. Specifically, I use it for the coaching side of things. I still make a full-time living doing voiceover, but I do have time to coach, and I really want to help people do that. So, Susie, hello. How much of my work comes from agents? About 15%, and I have 7 of them. Here's the thing, though. I mean, that's going to vary with everybody. I personally don't really audition that much. Most of the work that I get comes straight without having to audition from direct marketing clients. And I teach that method, I have a direct marketing checklist. And if those of you, and actually, why don't we do it this way? Instead of me putting links in the chat, what I'm going to do is if you want to put hashtag direct marketing in the chat, I'm going to go through it later, and then I will send you a link to the direct marketing checklist. That's free. That's something that you can see if you have everything kind of, or what you need to do, or if you already have everything kind of built so that you can start doing that. The 3 main things that I always recommend for direct marketing is obviously good demos, professionally produced demos, a website, and obviously training, to back everything up, right? Training, demos, website. That's kind of like the major trifecta of direct marketing. And then there's a couple of little things. If you have those 3 things, already set up, then there's only 7 things total on the list. So you can go vochecklist.com or just put in VO or hashtag direct marketing, and I'll post it. I'll post the link to everything later. So yeah, just put, if you want that direct marketing checklist, either go to vochecklist.com or just put in hashtag direct marketing in the chat, and I would love to help you guys. But yeah, so work from agents, obviously, agents get me in. Agents will get you a level of work that you won't be able to get from anybody else, right? I do a lot of work through ad agencies and production companies. That's how you build a business. I don't audition very much. Some of my agents aren't that happy with me because I don't audition that much. I've been able to build a sustainable business without auditioning a ton, and I kind of get tired of it. I don't like working for what I consider for free all the time. The business has kind of become the fact that we spend so much money on these demos, and then you wind up not using them because you just use it to land an agent. And then what does the agent do? They send you auditions. That's all they do. They just send out auditions, and you're still working, and auditioning all the time just to book one job at a time, which I get very frustrated with. So that's why I like direct marketing, because when I land a direct marketing client, they're around for a while. I get multiple jobs from them. So, So yeah, 15 to 20% tops I will get of my income comes in from agents, to answer your question, Susie. So, woo, VO Vantage. Hello, Joanna. Your beautiful pictures, by the way. I saw those. Very nice. And let's see. All right. Do I ever sleep? Well, yeah. Which is why I don't go live at 10 a.m. I'm live at 11 p.m. Almost, actually, it's midnight now. Direct market. Okay. All right, Susie, I will send you. Yeah. So I'll go through that. I'll go through all of the things when I get done with the live, and what was I going to say? Oh, if you want my calendar, so I offer those of you that I haven't worked with yet, and you just want to chat. I don't do any hard sell. I have kind of things that I can offer for free. I have free resources. I have paid packages of all levels of, rates. If you're looking to do this, and if you're looking to at least get some advice on what to do next, I can absolutely talk with you. We can, I offer 20 minutes for free, and you just have to go to trishascalendar.com, or just put in #calendar into the chat, and I will post that. I'll post the link straight into that. But I offer a 20-minute free kind of, ask me anything strategy call, and it's something that I want to help people get to the next level. I see so many people that are just trying to do this over and over and over again, and they're kind of spinning their wheels. And I want to help you, as long as you're willing to meet me halfway and like put in some effort of something, right? So I have a bunch of different resources. I have a starter guide. I have the VO marketing checklist. All of that stuff is free. This group is free. I love doing these Q&As, and if they help you guys, then that's great. The idea though is to move forward. If you're here and you're just kind of like wanting to dip your toe in the water, the VO Vantage membership is the best thing that you can do for the lowest amount of money. At $37 a month, you get me for 7-ish hours per month. It's a group coaching program, and honestly, the group is awesome. We have so many great members, and we have fun. We support each other. We do it's an accountability group. We go through technique. We talk about a little bit here and a little bit there. You guys, I pull a topic out of a hat every week. That's what we've been doing now, and kind of reformatted the calls. And, I facilitate the calls. It's more of a discussion. It's not me teaching a lesson. The master classes that are also included once a month in the membership are definitely more of me teaching, right? That's more of like this kind of environment where I'm just kind of talking, and, I teach an actual, lesson or a master class on a particular topic that the students choose. I go live from Zoom, and then everybody kind of watches in the group. But the strategy calls, everybody is in the Zoom room together. It's we do, like I said, it's about holding each other accountable, making you show up, and kind of forcing you to get stuff done, because I know how busy everybody is. I am too. And honestly, like, I love doing the strategy calls. I really enjoy helping people get to that next level. So if you want details on that, do #VO Vantage. Hello, Gar, Tracy, John, all these are VO Vantage members. Hi, guys. The membership has just been, so we've been going for a year and a half now, a little over a year and a half. And it's just, it's been such a great group. And so those of you that are looking to even just dip your toe and want some clarity on just moving forward, that's a great place to start. I created it so that everybody that is in that crew will get benefit out of it. No, some people are in the group that have been doing this for a couple of years. They're still new, but they're still, but they may be a few steps above, kind of ahead of you. And there's a lot of times the group helps itself. We have a private Facebook group and we just have a blast. So if you're looking for support, accountability, and you're looking for just a bunch of people that are actually pursuing this seriously, because of course the frameworks group, right? This is a free group. People join and sometimes literally just never visit the group again. And that happens. But if you're looking to do this and you really want to kind of dive into it a little bit more, and kind of dip your toe in just a little bit, hang out with us. It's VOVantage, VOVantage.com, or you can just put hashtag VOVantage, VANTAGE, in the chat, and I will I'll post that link later when I'm done. Hey Jenny, Kermit's here. Hi guys, feel free to put your questions in the chat. And I didn't have necessarily a plan on how long, but usually about an hour. So we have about 20 minutes or so. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Yeah, and those of you that are a little further along and looking to get refreshers on demos, I do that. I have a fantastic producer. I do the coaching, I kind of help people refresh, like if they do have a background and already doing this, or they already have their demos, you need some marketing, you want to do direct marketing, I can help with that. I still do 3 to 5 projects a day, and I share the methods that I actually use to get work. It's what has everybody been saying these days? And it's so true about VO marketing, but it's simple, but it's not easy, right? And all you really need is just the time and the focus to actually sit down and do it, because the general idea and the process of finding voiceover clients, as long as you have the thing, again, direct marketing, it's actually pretty simple. I find stuff on Google, ad agencies and production companies. I go into really, really like heavy details, obviously, in my Muckstruck marketing package, which is an hour-long video, and then you get an hour with me as a follow-up, but there's really, it's a simple process, but it's not easy, just because the easy is about sitting down and actually doing it. And so I have been thinking about maybe incorporating some of that into maybe a VOVantage meeting, or maybe considering making a separate service out of it, but we'll see. So, but those of you that need marketing help, who doesn't want more work? I can help you at least audition less. If you feel like you're auditioning and auditioning and auditioning, I don't really do that. And, I get work on a daily basis. So it's something that is absolutely possible. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, but it is something that I advocate for your business. Like, if the only place that you're getting work or trying to get opportunities or find opportunities is on an online casting site of any kind, whether it be Fiverr or Voice123 or any of the other casting sites, you don't own that site. Anything can happen. Algorithms change. Stuff happens, and it sucks, because I've seen people, really talented people, doing really well, making healthy 5 figures from one casting site, and all of a sudden there's an algorithm change. 0. It literally goes to 0. Don't build your business on rented land or whatever when you have your own list, directly connected to your own contacts for your own business, guess what? Because if one of those clients drops off, it's okay. It kind of sucks if they bring in a certain amount, and you're kind of, but the idea is that you're not relying on it, because the truth is those, those pay to plays, those casting sites aren't going to be around forever. Something, things change. They already have, they get hacked. There's scams everywhere, and while they do have their place, I'm not anti pay to play. I want to make that clear. I did, early on, it does help when you're auditioning regularly, and it kind of just gets you used to being behind a mic if you're still learning the business and the performance end of things. But once you get to the point where, at least, even if you are new and you want to spend some time on the pay to plays, if you have the money to invest on just honestly seeing it as a practice run, because most people don't book in the first year. If you spend $500, a lot of people spend $500 minimum on these casting sites for a full year. And guess what? A year later, you don't book anything. And some people do, but most people don't get their money back in the first year. And then it's not just you don't get the money back, but you lost a year of your life trying to get work and trying to, and not really getting, and I guarantee you're not getting feedback. You're not getting a reason as to why you're not booking, and which is why coaching helps, it's a one-on-one. When I coach one-on-one, I get very specific in the things that I know will help people get better with their reads. I can pinpoint things really quickly. I've been reading scripts for a long time, and I can, I have ways of breaking down the script and, kind of breaking it down into itty bitty pieces, and being able to, good night, Susie. Thank you. I'll send you that link later. There's just, it's one-on-one coaching is obviously it's an investment. But it gets you there the fastest. That's why, when I started voiceover, that's what got, I got an agent. I actually trained with somebody for almost a full year. And that was just a personal thing for me. Not everybody wants that or needs that amount of time. But, this was in 2001, I went full time in 2004. So I was still, when I trained and started to kind of dabble in getting work and getting my demos, I trained with just a commercial coach for almost an entire year before getting my demo produced. And then guess what? I was getting calls from New York City agents almost immediately as soon as I started to send it out. That's what it does. If you have the patience and the drive to actually, put that effort in and wait. It's, and it's equivalent, honestly, those of you that have spent time getting a degree, that, okay, you want to be a nurse in 4 years, 6 years. I don't know how long, whatever the program is for nursing. I know that they probably vary depending. But let's say it's a 4-year degree. You know that you cannot be a nurse for 4 years. When you start school, you won't be a nurse for another 4 years. You know that. You're not going to go out and try to get a nursing job mentally knowing that you can't get a nursing job until you have that degree and also the knowledge. So even though you don't need a degree in voiceover, there are none, and if anybody ever tried to sell you one, don't buy it. But my point is you don't need a degree. You just need to get to a point where it's like acting or any sort of freelance business, learning the business side, but learning how to get the work, learning what it takes instead of just doing voiceover samples on pay to plays and hoping that somebody falls in love with your voice. And unfortunately, it's not as simple as just talking and then people throw money at you. It's I think, there are times where we obviously want that. And I would love that for everybody. It's just super easy and everybody's just making money, but it's become incredibly competitive. And if you don't build the right, competition is also relative because you're not, I mean, there's so many different types of voices. Nobody has the same path. You're not going to be up against the same person over and over again. It's not like Pepsi and Coca-Cola are constantly competing, right? It's one company at each other's throats all the time. That's it. VO isn't like that. You become a voice actor and you're not up against the same people all the time. It's a different playing field every single day. So in order to stand out from the crowd, learning what you're best at, learning a niche that actually makes money, pay to plays. I'm sorry. Somebody was asking about ACX on a different forum, not on here, but on a different forum. And it really, like ACX is an audiobook platform. Audiobooks, and there are people making a ton of money in audiobooks, and I'm not gonna, but there are a lot of kind of crappy jobs on like audiobooks jobs and like starting out. Hey, here's the great thing about VO, or really any freelance. If you do the thing, and like I said, kind of like if you were to go to school for a thing, some people get a job at Google out of college. Like literally they graduate college with their whatever, IT, technology, blah, blah, blah degree, and they'll get a job at Google, right? They go straight to the top. You can do that with VO. So you don't need to start, at the bottom of the barrel doing crappy jobs if you don't want to. If you have the patience and you study and you build you have the pillars, you do the training and do the demos and do, like build the business, work with people, talk with people, get a coach, whether it be me or someone else, like find somebody that you like and work with them, ask questions. It's really important in order to help you get, kind of move forward. Hi, Julie. Hi, Sean. So, there's so many people that I see just, like I said, kind of buying the microphone and setting it up and then not really knowing what to do after that. And it's okay if that's you, right? Like if that's you and I'm talking right now and you're like, I have this home studio and now I don't really actually know how to get the work, or I'm not getting the work and I'm putting myself out there and I'm auditioning on VDC or, Voice 123. You paid hundreds of dollars and now you're not seeing results. I can help you, but you need to get into the mindset of studying the business. It's really, really important. This has to be a dream. This has to be something that you are not so much a dream as in never happening for real, but like a goal. It has to be something you see yourself doing years from now, and that's where the success will come. This is a tough business, and I don't want to sugarcoat it to anybody. I love it. It's been very good to me, but I also have to fight to stay relevant. And there's things that I love doing and there's things that I'm not so great at, running it. We're all, nobody's going to do it off the bat, right? That they're so I know it's intimidating between the home studio. If you're really at the very beginning and you don't know how to edit and you don't know how to talk into a microphone and you don't know anything about technique, I understand that's a lot. But working on it bits and pieces, right? If anybody's heard the term micro learning, that's something that I hear over and over again. And I've been saying over and over again recently because it's so true with voiceover. Those of you that have not really delved into the free trainings that I have right in here in this group, go to the guides section. If you got the email, well, the link might be there, but if you go to the main group page and you'll see the discussion tab, which is really where the kind of the default kind of what it defaults to when you log into the group. But if you click on the tab that is next to discussion, it says guides. If you click on that, there's a bunch of free trainings. Look at, if you want to kind of get an idea of what, like almost like a fly on the wall, kind of like, observation of what a one-on-one coaching session is like with me, that's the place to do it. Go to the technique or performance styles video, and I actually coach somebody right on, like, you want to be a fly on the wall, you actually want to know what a one-on-one voiceover technique coaching session is like with me, that's the place to find out. If you like the way that I teach, which also it's got to be a good fit, So I teach technique, I teach commercials and short form narration. What I mean by that is like up through e-learning. I don't do audiobooks and I don't do animation. Those of you that are interested in those things, I can absolutely point you in the right direction, but I don't personally teach them. So if you're interested in that, then feel free to reach out and say hi, and let me know that you're interested in that, and I can definitely put you in touch with somebody. Hello, Siobhan. Aw, I don't know if you're still listening, but it's good to see you in the feed. Miss you, girl. See you soon. Like I said, if this is something you want to do, just make it happen, just at least do some micro learning, listen, listen to a podcast, watch a training, there's all come to happy hour and hang out with us. I know that it's kind of hard for a lot of people on Fridays, 5:00 Eastern, because a lot of people are getting out of work or still in work if they're on earlier coasts or earlier time zones. But you can always, watch it. It's streamed live through Facebook, through this group. You'll find VO Happy Hour. You guys should see. If you're on my email list, you should be able to, you can go to vohappyhour.com and it'll send you the Zoom link. We have a blast every week. Honestly, I've been doing that for 2 years now. And it's just we have a great crew there too. So, let's see. Anybody else out there? Let's see here. I'm like, I don't know. Hello, Sean. And let's see. I don't know. Conrad, Lori was here. Ray, hello. I'm like scrolling back and trying to see everybody. So a bunch of you still here. So feel free to ask a question if you would like. Good night, Trish and the gang. Good night, Gar. John, where do I need to go next? I have my demos. I'm emailing and calling the clients on my day off. What do I do next? Well, if you are, it depends on, emailing, calling, starting to, joining either, depending on what kind of, work you're pursuing, John, which I think we've talked about that. I know that you have some character stuff, just maybe join a pay to play and see if you can audition and maybe, honestly, like the biggest thing is to have all of those, if you have the email signature built, if you have an email that matches your website, by the way, those of you that are trying to go cheap, don't cheap out on the email address. Your email address should not be Gmail. It should not be Yahoo. It should not be any of the free sites. I know it costs a little extra money. It's $2 to $5 a month. Do you have any idea how important this is? At such a small amount of money to get a URL, hopefully if you have, and this is if you have a website, obviously, right? So if you have the idea of a domain specific email address, because when you have a Gmail, guess who else has Gmail? Scammers and everybody else. And I'm not saying to get rid of your Gmail address. I'm just saying don't use it for VO, because what happens is you'll wind up in more spam boxes because it's a free email address. It could be coming from anybody. Anybody can create one. So the idea is that when the bots or whatever sees that it's basically an email address that is directly connected to a paid domain, like your website, my website, Trish, voiceoversbytrish.com. My email address is trish@voiceoversbytrish.com. So whatever URL, whatever domain you get for your voiceover business, tinasvoices.com, your email address should be tina@tinasvoices.com. So that is really important, and you'll wind up in less spam boxes when you email them. So that's something to consider, John. And going, just, there's not really going anywhere next at that point. It's about kind of branching out, maybe do some reach out on LinkedIn, outreach on LinkedIn, start to, post, post content. I love posting content. Those of you that may have seen, videos. Okay, great. Right. No, I know you had the website, John. Okay, good. I wasn't sure actually about the email. If that's not working for you, then it's either, and I don't want to say it this way because I know you've been working on this stuff for a while, but it might be time to take lessons, again, like more technique if you're auditioning and you're not booking. So but the thing is, if you're not auditioning, then you're not really practicing either. So there's kind of like there's a caveat there too. Unfortunately, when it comes to not booking for a very long period of time, and I'm not just, I'm not talking about, I don't know where you're at with things, John, because I know that you're, I know you've been working really hard at marketing and all of that for a while, but those of you that are really not seeing results when you're marketing and sending out your demos and auditioning, then it might be your performance. It might be your technique. It might be the way that you're reading scripts. And at that point, you have to say to yourself, do I sound professional? Can I compete with people that have been doing this for some time or that are doing this professionally? And how do you get there? How do you, and if you don't sound like them, then that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're, like everybody, we all start somewhere, but be honest with yourself, really evaluate your performance. Where is your talent level? Where is your skill level? Are your reads competitive? And how do you find that out? You ask people, and you get you people like me that do, I'll do an evaluation, if you haven't had any training, then that's also, if you haven't had any training, then that's usually the case, that's why you're not booking, because you just haven't learned the technique. It's acting. There's very few people that, wind up doing well in acting that have never taken an acting lesson. You have to take classes with voiceover. Classes, one-on-one coaching, whatever it is. If you're not sure about where you're at with your talent level and your reads, be objective to yourself. Be self-aware in your own talent and your sound. Listen, here's a good thing, a good way of kind of finding that out without kind of getting an evaluation that might, kind of be uncomfortable for you to reach out for. Don't find a big time agent. Nobody in New York City or Los Angeles or any of the huge, kind of, like Philadelphia. Stay away from the top 15 highest populated cities in the U.S. And I'm just talking about the U.S. here, but find like a small city, right? Find a small city and find a talent agency that has a voiceover department in that small city. Little cities, Albuquerque, Kansas City, Knoxville, right? Go on Google Maps, go on Google and do a search for Knoxville Talent Agency and see if they have it, or voiceover talent agency, and find somebody that is outside of those big markets, that's smaller, kind of, just smaller potatoes, but still potatoes, so go there, listen to the voiceover demos. Most talent agents have the demos of the talent that they represent. They have them right on the website, and it's public, that it's not like behind a pay wall or anything like that, right? You'll be able to go onto a website of a a talent agent in a small city and listen to the demos and be honest with yourself. Be self-aware. Can you be that? Can you sound that way? Do you sound that way if you have demos? Do your demos sound that way? So, because there are plenty of people that, sometimes people record their demos prematurely. And unfortunately, it happens. My very first demo wasn't great. I still wound up getting work, and then you get work, and then you get better, and you come out with better demos. And it's a constant process. But, you have to be self-aware. Listen to what's out there. Listen to who's getting work. If you want commercial work, listen to commercials. You can't book commercials without listening to them, to what's being hired at the time, right? So think about, listen to them. Go on YouTube. Go on Spotify. Go on, put on, regular terrestrial radio, AM, FM. Listen to it. Listen to commercials, or listen whatever it is, the niche in voiceover that you want to do. And if you're not sure yet, then that's okay too. But listen to everything then. Maybe there's something you want to do, or that you want to wind up kind of focusing on. Some people just want to go straight into audiobooks. Some people want to do documentary work. Some people want to do movie trailers. It's like, of course, everybody wants to do movie trailers. That's like the upper echelon of VO, by the way. That's the tippity top. Commercials are great though. They pay well. They don't take a lot of time, but they are competitive as a result because they're lucrative. Short form narration. I do a ton of e-learning and, 2 to 3 minute corporate narration work, for websites, for explainer videos, all kinds of stuff. There's so much work out there, guys. It's just a matter of knowing, of preparing yourself and your technique, and then going out and actually finding the work. And if you need help with either of those, I am happy to talk to you. Please book something in my calendar. I offer 20 minutes for free. There's no hard selling. I have a combination of free resources and paid programs at all levels of rates. I want to help you get there, So if you're interested in that, just put in #calendar in just type #calendar in the chat, and then I'm going to be posting the link and sending you the link to that. Afterwards, when I'm going to go through the comments after I'm done with live, because I wind up spending time like copying and pasting and typing stuff, and I'd rather just have you guys do that if you can. Was this helpful? How many of you are still there? 7 of you. Perfect. Okay. So it's a process, so. But some great questions we had tonight too. But yeah, if you're interested in the membership, I would love to talk to some people about that. We have such a great group going, and I have a challenge coming up too. There's it's like mid-August. If you're interested in a 5-day challenge, it's 1 hour a day for 5 days. Practically free. It's $27 for all 5 days. If you're interested in that and getting on the mailing list, hit #challenge, and I'll post the link, and you can get yourself on the mailing list for it. So I don't have the sales page is on a wait list right now. So if you go to actually I think it's VO Hustle Challenge, but I'll send that. So just do #challenge in the group, or in the chat here, and we can get you there. What else? Okay. You're welcome, guys. All right, John. Yes, I will send you that link to the calendar. Let's see. Anybody else? I got a few people. So we went a little over an hour, and that's great. Why don't we conclude unless anybody can get anything in at the last minute. So hashtag challenge, or it's hashtag calendar for the free 20 minutes. I want to be able to, I have slots open tomorrow. If or anytime this week, if you guys want to talk, I'm happy to help you to the next level, or just kind of hear you out and see what your goals are. And maybe I can make some recommendations on what I think that you could do next that will help you the most. Hey, Christopher Smith, how are you? Let's see, what else was there? It's VO Vantage. There's the membership. If you're interested, like I said, let's talk. Let's talk. I'm happy to get you to the next level. Just listening to this is great, and obviously taking advantage of all the free trainings that are inside the Facebook group, this Facebook group right here. Go into the guides section, and you'll be able to listen to kind of watch any. There's trainings on editing, audio editing. I have technique. I have marketing. There's actually like a webinar that I did. And a presentation that I did about, how to get voiceover clients. If you want that, it's free. Go to the guides section, and and you can watch it. Just to kind of help it. If I can give you a tip, if you want to watch any of these, Facebook either videos on, and this goes for not just my stuff, obviously, but for YouTube and whatnot. You can actually change the playback speed. If it's a long video and you kind of want to get through a little bit quicker, and like your brain actually is, it's amazing. Like you can kind of like often adjust. So what I do is when I'm watching a video that's kind of longer, even if it's 5 minutes, it's still great when it's like 2.5 minutes instead, right? If you can cut a video in half time-wise. So what I do is I actually change the playback speed. You'll see the little gear icon wherever the video is playing. Usually it's the bottom right somewhere, and it'll say playback settings or playback mode. And if you click that gear button, it'll give you a chance to change the speed of the video. And so it'll usually be set on 1.0. And if you want to go to 1.25 or 1.5, 1.75, and 2.0, which is twice 2x, right? It's twice the speed. What I usually do is I wind up going up to 2.0, listening for about 20 seconds, letting my brain, my ADHD brain, kind of catch up, and all of a sudden kind of get used to that pacing. And then sometimes I just listen to it and watch it at that speed. But if I feel like there's a lot of information, I drop it down to 1.75, which sounds slower than the 2.0 that you've been listening to. Your brain kind of catches up pretty quickly. So just a little tip, guys, like if you're looking to get through a lot more content in a shorter amount of time, hit the playback speed and the playback settings. It's, something you can at least play around with and hopefully, just cover more information in a shorter amount of time. All right. Good, guys. So, as long as I'm here, so anybody, let's see, it's Trisha's calendar.com. That is, you might have to, that's 2 W's, but if that link doesn't work, if you click on it and it gives you a hard time from Facebook, you just have to type it in because in a separate browser, because sometimes Facebook doesn't like the redirect. But if you want to book, just choose the 20-minute Ask Me Anything. And those of you that put calendar in there, that I'll obviously post the link there also. But yeah. Thank you, John. You're welcome. So, all right. Well, I will let you guys go. It's late, and it's really late here. In the States, on the East Coast. It's even starting to get a little bit late on the West Coast. But thank you guys for being here. These are always so fun, and if I can help you, I want to do that. Please reach out, tap on my name, and just send me a message, or you can use that link to my calendar and pick pick that 20-minute free strategy call, ask me anything. And oh yeah, lunchtime. Nice, Michael. Enjoy your day then. I'm headed probably to sleep soon, maybe another hour for me. But everybody take care of themselves, and love doing these. So I'll keep doing them. Everybody take care. Have a good night. All right. Bye.